And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gressvan, we have our red Protoss player. Red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Cord's already the first thing to play. Yeah, but it's... I guess I have to look into buying a new cord, I guess. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Ah, no. Hopefully everything's okay. I mean, I guess it's an older mic, I guess. I got the mic, what? Beginning of pandemic? 5 years? Still works fine, but I'd have to look for a new cord. Smurge. Regardless, here we go. Regardless, we're getting into our next series, into our next game. Oh, just setting things up. And we'll see how things do turn out here. Again, SKillous and Cure, I wouldn't say they're quite close in skill. Is that Team Liquid team kill, as was mentioned in the chat earlier? True. Is that team kill? SKillous has been improving so much over the past couple of months. As looking so impressive, but coming into this, it's a hard one to call, I'll be honest. It's going to be a hard one. But I feel like I have to recalibrate a little bit here. Again, congratulations to Solar for winning the last series. My condolences to Cristiano. Again, it was a close one. He had a lot of opportunities, but wasn't quite able to close it out in the end. That leads us into our next best of 5. So now we do have our initial economic open at a Cure. Just racks expand, single cast. Does make sense on a larger map like Gressvan. Gressvan, known for longer macro play, and we do see the Cure is taking full advantage of that. USB. But I don't have any spare cords. I don't really have a reason to buy cords, but I guess so. Have to look into it. Get a spare microphone cord. Behind this could be a Twilight Council. Say a couple of spares. I mean, this has lasted me like 5 years, so I can get away with one. Gamma time? No Gamma time. Replays, papi, replays. We have a tech of choice. Going to be a Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council into Blink. Into how many gates so far? 2 gates. So far we have a 2-gate setup here from SKillous. Adept does shade into the main base. Is going to threaten the mineral line, but is going to get 2 SCVs. Not bad. 2 SCVs so far. Gets a barely not a third towards the end. And is going to be shut down. From here, Cure getting to his own Wood Mine drop. Again, nothing too fancy so far. Oh, my apologies. Oh, there we go. Does get into his mine drop. The goal here is to just scout, get information as to the build, as to the tech, as to the gateway count. We do have our 3-gate setup. Very safe play out of SKillous. And Cure will soon look to confirm. As Hellions do threaten and dive. They do threaten. Whereas Cure diving in. Now it is going to be a little bit more committed here. 4 Widow Mines. 4 Widow Mines into the main. And SKillous will have some Stalkers in position. Oh, Blink is done. And the mine drop has arrived. Thankfully, does pull away in time. Oh my god. Gets 2 probes so far. Does avoid the mine shots and will clean this up without too much issue. At the same time, Hellions dive into the mineral line. Of the Stalkers, they react in time, so despite that, 5 probe kills. 6 probes even. 6 probes for 2 Hellions and 2 Widow Mines. Not a bad trade. Not a bad trade out of SKillous, sorry, out of Cure, bearing in mind that he can always dive back in, can find more damage, and SKillous is forced to keep supply back at home to defend. Forced to stay home. SKillous moving out, getting his third base. Going to contain his opponents as he tries to. I mean, there's still going to be harassment across the map, and there's not much here at the natural. So Curie's getting damage done. Looking in. Does get an SCV. Ooh. Gets an SCV kill, takes a lot of shots to the face. Not quite worth it for SKillous. Security will get another probe kill here in the mineral line. Does catch a probe. Behind this, SKillous is going to be heavily reliant on a charge follow-up. This is typically how SKillous will approach this. He usually does delay his splash damage, whether it's Colossus or Storm. He will delay in favor of extra gateways, +1, and charge. This has been very trendy as of late. Has been kind of the go-to for a lot of players. Players like Hero, MaxPack, SKillous, of course, as well. Have been known to embrace the gateway composition a lot longer, and now we head in towards Colossus. The Bay has been thrown down. Until then, though, Cure looking to move out. He gets spotted. Is spotted by the Stalkers. Observer is somewhat in position. Ooh. Tank shot goes up. He does break out. Upgrades will finish up by the time the army gets across the map, referring to +1 and stim. Once again, SKillous trying to slow it down. Chips away at the tank. Getting ready here for a Zealot counterattack. And Cure, he doesn't commit, not yet. SKillous, he's waiting for the moment. And here comes the army. SKillous diving into the main. Forces out a stim, not bad. Does force a partial stim. Zealous are getting SCV kills here in the main. But can Cure be stopped? Colossus still halfway down. Can he get onto the tanks? He can! Okay, the first tank is going to go down. Not a bad pickup. Down to 2 tanks. 2 tanks left. Force fielding the army, forcing friendly fire. Oh, that's a lot of Zealots going down. But again, we're just buying time for the Colossus. Prism the main was Zealot. Zealot goes down. Colossus has arrived. And SKillous, he should be able to hold on here. Scan reveals the Colossus. And Cure, he backs up. Cure backs off. He doesn't risk it. Wise choice. Sees the Colossus, gets the hell out of there, pulls away. And we have a game. We do have a game here. As Cure, he can now establish his third. His third base is done, but still not on location. So a bit of a later third base here for Cure. As he is now expanding. As he expands, here comes SKillous. SKillous, he is tempted to collapse on the army, but doesn't have enough. The Prism survived? Wait, what? Somehow did make it out? Okay. Fair enough. Observer got skinned. And both players are expanding. SKillous into his 4th base, Cure into his 3rd. So from here we can calm things down, we can both macro, both build up. SKillous is now up to 3 Colossus, now working towards Disruptors, 2nd Robo on the way. That mass Disruptor production. SKillous, I don't really see him breaking this position. He does see everything with the Observer. He's just parked outside. waiting for any kind of move out. And still saturating his expansion. Going to be reinforcing, waiting for those disruptors. First one has arrived. And he's going to commit. Okay, let's go. Coming in from multiple angles. Can he pull off the surround? Zalse peel off into the mineral line. Really just a distraction. Okay, okay. I dig this. A little bit better here. As he gets 10 SCV kills. Diving on the ghost. Oh, first ghost goes down. He gets one. He gets, oh, almost two. Yeah, 2 ghost kills. Tank as well. Getting a 3rd ghost barely nods towards the end. SKillous losing too much though. Please add a Colossus. Never does connect. Will the splits were good enough? Yeah, and SKillous is going to lose everything here. Again, pushing into that, committing into that 3rd base was a mistake. Losing everything. At first, I thought it was just distracting to go for a Zealot Run into the mineral line, but he committed. Like, he just kept going. And with that, yeah, SKillous, he will plummet in supply. Here, committing to the counterattack, and there's just not much here. There's not much to defend. There is nothing left. EMP pops up. Gateway Army can't do much. Zealot reinforcements, they will help, but again, without these Novas connecting, Cure, he should overwhelm. Yeah, he should and he will. And the connections are just not going to be good enough here. And there's no Colossus support behind this. SKillous is trying to warp in, trying to hold on. But the army, we can just stim. We can just stim. We can win from here. Oh, what do my shots say? Don't get baited. And again, we're down to just 2 more disruptors. Better connection towards the end, but only towards the end. SKillous, he does plummet. Oh, another Nova goes off. And that's all we had left. We're still reinforcing, still trying to buy time. As Curie just keeps rallying across the map. Again, it barely should be enough to snipe all these zealots. Wouldn't mind they move forward into the mineral line. Oh, and that is a brutal connection. 6 more probe kills. And with that skills, he's coping a little bit here. just a little bit. And so just bleeding off wave after wave of reinforcements. Again, you can see how close he was to defending as well, as there isn't that much that Cure has left to work with, but GG gets called, and Cure, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Cure does take the first game. Again, it was a little bit... I was a little bit shocked to see that SKillous did commit, considering that he did see the army, he saw the Widowmine setup, he saw the tank setup as well. I mean, clearly it did seem initially like SKillous didn't really intend to commit to a surround because he went for the mineral line instead. If that's the case, though, if he did intend on committing into that push, then maybe it would have been a little bit better there if he had committed to surrounding the army instead of going for a run by and going for the mineral line. And with that, did overextend, did lose everything in the process, and GG. GG, well played. Cure does take a lead. And again, it wasn't like SKillous was all in. Remember, SKillous, he was taking a 4th base behind that, and his 2nd robo was finishing up as well. Like, he was just getting into disruptive production before he had committed to that fight. So, again, there was nothing really pressuring him to commit, but went for it, didn't work out well. And with that, that leads us into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have our red Protoss player for Team Liquid down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player, also representing Team Liquid, South Korean Terran. It is Cure. Here we go. So we are settling in. Why did the Stalkers turn orange? What does that mean? As I'm pretty sure someone did reply to your comment in the chat. But yes, there is an ability on the Raven. The Raven does have a missile that goes off. The missile doesn't do any damage itself, but it does apply a debuff. It does apply a debuff. It does reduce the defense of units that it does cover. It does make them more vulnerable. And the orange coloring indicates that, of course, the unit is vulnerable then. It is the anti-armor missile. Anti-armor missile. Which does shred away that armor for a period of time. That wasn't always the case. You know, back in the day, we had the Hunter Seeker missile. Like, the Raven has changed quite a lot from expansion to expansion. Has changed quite a bit over time. But if you recall, did have the point defense drone for a time. Hunter Seeker missile, now anti-armor missile as well. In the past, it wasn't like the interference matrix. It's gone through some iterations. It's definitely a unit that has been played around with quite a bit. Have we reached its final form? Maybe. We'll see. I'm sure more changes will arise over time. So now, once again, economic opener out of Cure, going for the rack expand, which is what we expect on larger map. Also, I should mention, welcome one and all to King's Cove. King's Cove is one of the larger maps in the map pool, very large map. Likewise, one of the more vetoed maps in the map pool as well. It's a bit of a rarer sight. Happy to see. Ooh, as we are going for a Stargate opener. This is spotted by Cure. Now, again, typically Stargate play is considered to be a little bit unsafe and very risky, but it is less so on a larger map. Even though Twilight Council play is very much so meta and is the norm, Stargate play, I mean, you know, MaxFax has his thoughts on it. He's not too fond of it himself. Feels like it can be a bit of a bait at times. But again, on a map like King's Cove, I think you can get away with it. Unfortunately, Cure does confirm.
Command center upgrade complete.
Cure, he does confirm the Stargate. And he can attempt to punish. Now, the thing with Stargate play is that early on you are vulnerable as a Protoss player just because your units are very limited. You have a couple of Phoenixes, you can lift a unit at a time. Against all-ins, it is very difficult to defend against early Cyclone pushes, early Cyclone aggression, early timing attacks from the Terran player, 2-1-1s for example. They can be devastating. But that's why on larger maps you can be a little bit safer because it takes longer for your opponent to be aggressive. It takes longer for them to move out, and you have more chances to scout the move out or even to shut it down ahead of time. Hallucination does dip into the main, gets eyes on the 3-1-1 setup. Viking first. Tech labs are on the way. And again, at least Cure is aware of what's happening. So behind this, just building up his anti-air, making sure he's safe against those Phoenixes. He has Marines here in the main, sorry, in the natural. And he's got the Viking Marine in the main. So he is split up, he's ready. From here, skills should be working towards charge. We have the Forge, +1. Twilight Council on the way. We're just building up towards that charge. Again, typically you do not go Blink after a Stargate opener just because they both play the same role. Phoenixes are designed to shut down drop play and to contain the opponent. Same with Blink Stalkers. So you go one or the other, not both. Not early on, at least. Yes, the Dorito dust. Yes, yes. You get dusted. Stop making me hungry. The Hunter Seeker missile was OP. Mate, it was crazy, mate. It was crazy. That was a dark time. That was back in Heart of the Swarm, if you recall. That was back when it was all about NG-based units, right? That was back when the Swarm Host was a very different kind of unit. Same with Mech as well, because Mech would rely a lot on Ravens. Jesus. Let's not talk about the the point defense room. I mean, I understand, like, definitely led to some explosive moments, the previous spells on the Raven, but probably not the most balanced, that's what I would say. It's probably a positive thing that we got rid of it. I guess the best moments for the Hunter Seeker Missile was the counterplay, right? You could target, of course, the units, but the unit that gets targeted, it's a projectile, and you can't actually move the unit away. You can move the unit into the Terran army and force friendly fire. That would happen. I remember you'd have a Terran player target their own medevac. The medevac would boost in, and then, of course, the missile will follow the medevac. Yeah, you could have some micro tricks with it. True. There we go, Cure does push. SKillous here on 3 bases is looking quite defendable. He's got his shield battery, he has his force fields, he should be fine. Again, the 3-base setup here on King's Cove is very defendable and very difficult to break because of the ramp, because of the high ground, the altitude, shield battery, force fields on the ramp as well. Cure shouldn't be able to push in, but the goal here should just be to contain and to get his own 3rd base. Oh, would make it accepted. First Feast does not go down. Barely not. Reinforcements have arrived. Cure, he wants to commit in. Okay. And all of this is going to come down to the force fields. Dustin forward. Oh! Locks down 2 Marauders. Just the 2. And with that, the Bio Army still trading well. More force fields are available. And we do lock down the army. We get some decent trades. Curie picks up, pulls out. But running as Zelts here. Running as Zelts here. Skills, he's in trouble. Skills not expecting Cure to commit as hard. And Skills, he might just be broken. Just here and now. This might just be too much. Zelts coming from behind. Oh my god. A lot of mine shots do connect. Widow mines are cleaned up, but yeah, there's too much bio. There's too much bio. He sims in, takes down all the Zealots. Does focus on the Immortal. And Skills, now he's pulling the boys, but it's too late. It's too little too late. Curie just rallies across the map. GG gets called. And Curie, he will break Skillous and take a 2-0 lead. GG. GG, well played. I just assumed that Cure was going to be containing, so my apologies. I assumed it was just going to be containing and expanding, but his 3rd base was very late. Very late 3rd base. And more importantly, a reason why Cure did commit there, we kind of alluded to at the start of the game, when it comes to a Stargate opener, is how vulnerable you are to early game aggression. I'm sure that Cure would not have moved out in such a way with that kind of 3-1-1 timing if there was a Twilight Council instead. Again, you can see that Phoenix's, they didn't really help in that fight, right? They lifted 1 Widowmine at the start of the fight, but that's all they really accomplished. It just shows how difficult it can be to defend with that kind of opener, and why it's considered unsafe, why it's considered difficult to get away with. GG. GG, well played. I should also emphasize that a big reason for that, again, is the early scout, right? Remember, we saw that Cure was able to confirm the opener early on, able to prepare, and then able to execute. GG. GG, well done. Well played here by Cure. Cure takes a 2-0 lead, and we'll see if he can close this out. On a smaller map, I don't see Stargate play. Isn't it? No shot. As we load into ley lines, as we load into a smaller map here, and spawning in at the bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Protoss player. We have our Team Liquid Protoss. Representing Team Liquid, of course. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, also representing Team Liquid, up to the 0. It is Cure. Here we go. Despite the size of King's Cove, despite the defender's advantage, despite all of that, still, alas, Cure, he was able to find his way through, able to break his way through. The force fields weren't too bad for SKillous, but again, he just did not have the firepower he needed to survive, to hold. And alas, he was broken. Coming into our next game. Oh, hello. I don't expect another Stargate opener out of SKillous. I expect Twilight Council play instead. Meanwhile, here comes the initial SCV. And the goal here should be to block the expansion. We're going for an eBay block. Now, ideally, this will force the unnatural. Ideally, it will force the 3rd base to be taken as the natural instead. Disrupt the opener, and make SKillous that much more vulnerable. All of this will depend on the progression of the eBay. And so far, SKillous does scout this early enough. He pulls the boys. He will pull the boys. He will focus us down. And SKillous will be able to expand. Okay. Now, if SKillous had scouted this late, if this was almost done, then he would be forced to expand elsewhere. Like there's no shot he can focus down the eBay if it has too much progression and too much HP. Thankfully, he did scout it early enough. And there's the cancel. Back at home, we do have our 1-1. The reason why it's a single gas but no CC is because, of course, Cure had to afford the eBay, so it does force out an earlier factory before command center. So it is going to be less economic this time for Cure. This is why Stargate is not as common, this exact push. Not exactly. There are a lot of different ways to punish Stargate openers, as I was trying to allude to. There are early tank and cyclone timings you can go for. There are straight up 2-1-1s you can go for instead of the 3-1-1 that we saw. So there are multiple different builds that can punish. But again, as we were trying to emphasize, that is one of the reasons why Stargate play can be risky to embrace. As again, like the Phoenixes, they were a non-factor in that defense. And that's like a big investment, right? It's like investment to Stargate into, what, 4 Phoenixes? Units that aren't really helping you. Yeah, that's what we did try to emphasize. From here, back at home, Twilight counter open out of skills, which again is what we expect. If we saw Stargate again, I mean, we could, but it'd be on, like, you know, Neo-Violet Square, for example, Abyssal Reef. On those larger maps. Gateways are being thrown down. Protoss would often try to use Phoenixes to splash damage Widow Mines onto the Terran army. Hero is really good at that. You may have seen that from, I think it was even recently, I want to say maybe last week, Hero played a PvT where he would actually force friendly fire with his Phoenixes, which is really cool. Like, it's really unique and very necessary way. Like, you may be thinking like, oh, but don't you lose the Phoenix? Well, it's like, they're not going to do anything anyway. Like, you got to do something. So, it's a more creative way to try to deal with that push. As Hellions are forced back. So far, SKillous is holding on. Oh! So far, it does wall off. Does wall off in time. And you can see how paranoid SKillous is about to drop, about a rotation into the main. So far, he is defending well. Defending well. Wouldn't mind drop towards that natural. We'll see if skills can be distracted. But now being dragged out into the open. Wouldn't mind drop comes in. Does hit the mineral line. So far, skills he does pull away in time. Does handle this well. Oh no. Oh no! Okay, okay. Oh jeez. Didn't see the third winner mine, but alas, no major connection. Skills he does defend. So far, good defense. Does preserve his army. Behind this, we have our 3-1-1 setup. Bunkers are on the way, and you can see Cure he's setting up defensively this time to prepare against the Stalker counterattack. Again, Blink Stalkers, there's a reason why they're the more standard go-to, is that they do give you map control. They allow you to defend, they give you map control, they allow you to counterattack as well. And you can see that Cure is respecting it. He's respecting it quite a bit. With his tank line, with the SimCity, with his tank. His bunker, I should say. Skills going behind the mineral line, barely out of range of the tank. Not bad. Oh, has to be careful there. Does have to be careful. He gets 3 SCV kills, tank shots are brutal, but won't lose a single Stalker. So nicely done here by Skills at the same time, or target across the map. Doesn't quite get a probe kill. Quite. Picks up a Marine. Every unit counts. So this time Cure is contained, and Skills can take a third. This time a much more comfortable start from our Protoss player. Much more comfortable. Taking up in towards charge. We did mention this in game 1, how Skillous, he is one to, I mean, not just him, but many Protoss players nowadays are one to go into +1 and charge Gateway Explosion before their splash damage. Oh. as he does get another SCV, another 2. Almost a third. 2 more SCV kills. Cure, he does move out. Now, the scary thing about what's happening here is that, of course, SKillous, he will miss the move out. He's busy in the main. He does not see the main army, though. Does not get eyes on the natural. And Cure, he's moving out. Hoping to catch SKillous with his pants down. And there's no shield battery. Oh. No shield battery back at home. Hellions dive in. 3 more probe kills, not bad. Boys are being pulled. SKillous turning back around. And the tanks, they're hoping to get within range. And they will. At least one of them will. Tanks that do siege. 9 probe kills so far. SKillous does race back, and he's around. It's going to be close, but he can. He dives in, takes out 1 tank. Gets 1, and goes for the other. Whew. And we'll clean this up. Hey. We'll clean this up. Despite that, though, another mine drop here in towards that mineral line. Up. Decent connection. Gets 12 probes, and now it's time for a counterattack. Now, back at home, Cure, he did throw away 2 of his tanks. He has 1 tank in the main base, but look at the natural. The natural is more exposed, and SKillous can punish it. He can punish that natural base. Cure, that move out was not worth it, not worth losing 2 tanks. And SKillous should recognize that Cure is vulnerable. As there's 1 tank in between the bases. SKillous, he confirms. He won't commit, though. Won't quite commit, just gets a 4th. Gets a 4th base. Colossus production well underway. And it looks like he's just containing. Going for some drop play as well. Here's main army spotted by the Observer. But Curie spots the Observer as well. As Cure moves out, Zeldrop moves in. Gets a couple of SCVs. At the same time, Stalkers, they hit the 3rd base, and Cure getting pulled apart here. Using another SCV. So far, SKillous trading well. Water Stars, they do get the shield battery. Shield battery does go down. But Cure is contained. Cure, he's just pinned back. SKillous gaining map control. 2nd Colossus on the way as well. And we've seen this scenario before. If you recall on Gressman, we have SKillous reinforcing with more Zealots. Building up towards his 3rd Colossus. Getting ready for a flank. But this time, there's only 1 tank. This time, the defensive setup here is weaker because Q threw away 2 tanks at the start of the game. So, I could see the rationale for SKillous diving in a lot more this time. Does threaten a push. Does threaten, doesn't quite commit yet. Yeah, SKillous is just flirting with the idea. Doesn't commit. And just saturates his base. Now going for a 2nd Forge, 2nd Robo. SKillous, he's not taking the same risk he did on Gressman. He's slowing things down. Just poking in. Even though I do think he could have been more successful this time. Regardless, playing it safe. Does play it safe, does pull away. And you could argue that, true, there's even less reason for SKillous to move in right now. Like, the counterattack potential of Cure is weaker than it was previously. So SKillous, he can just chill, he can just take another expansion, build up his disruptors, and max out. From here, he can just max out. Crazy Cure could throw away so much supply and still find himself in a strong position. I would disagree. He's contained right now. And he will eventually be able to break out. It's going to be on SKillous to slow down that push. I would say that SKillous is in a stronger position. As he's waiting for those disruptors. And we'll see how Cure can break out and take a fourth. So fourth base is on the way. How many disruptors? So far, 4. 4 disruptors. Bunker goes down. Shows those Novas. Gonna be zoning away. Zoning away for the time being. SKillous has to be careful. Again, the Novas are on cooldown. Has to pull away. And the goal, the win condition for SKillous is deny the fourth. Deny the fourth base for as long as possible. Army's moving in. SKillous does he react in time. Oh, nice EMP. One disruptor goes down. Novas go up. No major connections. Vikings, they do shut down the first Colossus. Yeah, SKillous, he wasn't quite able to react in time. Has to pull away. As he pulls back, they'll run back towards the expansion. But there are reinforcements. And the Colossus should fall. Gets a couple of swipes in. But the Colossus count gets reset. Picking up a couple of key Marauders, but more Marauders have arrived. But Zealous are getting into the mineral line. SCVs are falling. Ooh, that's going to be 20 SCV kills. 21 even. Likewise, Novas are reset. They were preserved. They're buying time for Warpins. Right now, he's just buying time. Extra Warpins finishing up. Zealots are cleaned up across the map. But this army is that much smaller. It's now that much smaller. We need those reinforcements. But again, Curie's down to 42 SCVs. Forced to land the Vikings. Vikings are landing. He's still rallying across the map. Oof. And oh my god. No major connections. The Ghost, they survive. That's what's important. Ghost, they avoid the Novas. Marauders less so, but it's okay. And from here, it does commit, does stem in. We're running out of Zealots. Disruptor's being targeted down as well. Miscontrol there by SKillous. Yeah, he does go too close. But are there enough Zealots now with that warp in? Yeah, the Ghosts are going down. And Curie's all in. He's all in. The Zealots, they wreak havoc across the map. There's zero economy, zero mining. This is all that Cure has left. And GG gets called. SKillous, he will survive. He forces the all in, and SKillous will force an extended series. Let's go. We have a back and forth. GG. We have a back and forth here. And again, this was a very similar, I mean, I was going to say, this should have been a similar game to Gressvan, where we were in a similar position here, where on Gressvan, Cure, he was contained on 3 bases, and SKillous had map control. But if you remember, on Gressvan, SKillous, he chose to commit in, he chose to fight, he lost everything in the process. Here, much tamer, much kind of tamer response. SKillous, he calmed down, he contained, he was able to take better engagements as a result, slow down his opponent, and cripple the economy as Cure moved out. Now again, Cure, he was in a weaker position compared to on Gressvan, where he had kind of less of a defensive setup, he only had the 1 tank, so he was more vulnerable. But this time, SKillous, he's learned from that game, is what I will say. And with that, we're getting into game number 4. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into our next game. Going to be loading into Amygdala. Getting into our next game. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our red Protoss player. We have for Team Liquid. Fighting back, putting a point on the board. Can he force the ace match? It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player. Also for Team Liquid, leading the series 2-1. Still needs 1 game. Uno más, papi. Uno más to claim the series. It is a Cure. We go. And welcome one and all to Amygdala. Amygdala is one of the larger maps, and the map pool is also more defendable as well. Because of that, we might be in for a bit of a longer game state. Yes, on the one hand, last game we saw both armies close to maxing out. I think we peaked at like at around 190 supply before players did clash. But here it can be more difficult to get away with these run-bys and get away with these counterattacks. The reason for this is because the attack paths on Amygdala are very limited. Very limited here. You can apply pressure towards the top side or towards the bottom side, as there are mainly 2 attack paths here on this map. The reason for that is because of all the rocks. All these rocks do kind of limit how you can be aggressive in the early and early to mid game. Likewise, Zelnaga towers, they control both locations as well. They do get eyes on both attack paths, so it is easier to scout and easier to respond. Now that does change as the game progresses. As these rocks get knocked down, then suddenly the map opens up and you can counterattack, and you can rotate a lot faster, you can pivot between the bases a lot easier as well, but that's typically in a longer kind of like 4 or 5 base scenario. It's typically in a longer and later game state. So because of that, we see more longer games as a result. We see more later games here on Amygdala. We'll see if that's the case here though between these 2 players, as we haven't really seen that yet. We haven't seen like kind of like a more slower paced back and forth mid to late game that has yet to really come across in this series. Meanwhile, double gas, interesting, double gas opener out of Cure, going for a faster factory before CC, so a little bit more tech heavy this time here by Cure. With this, Cure, he can go for early Cyclone production, early tank drop. He can go for early Banshees. True, Banshee play is quite common and quite popular on Amygdala, especially amongst the Korean Terrans. So we'll see how Cure will mix it up. Initially, going for the Widowmine. No Hellion. Is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of SKillous. I should have brought that up, but I was going to say that something like a Stargate opener I could definitely see working here for SKillous, but this time he doesn't risk it. After what happened on King's Cove, SKillous, he's done. He's like, you know what? I tried it once. I'm good. Fair enough. Fair enough. Does go for the Twilight Council instead. Reaper dips in. Reaper is going to be forced back. And is going to be zoned away. So far, nice delay here on the CC. SCV goes down. SCV does fall. And what I'm most curious by here is, after this Widowmine, do we go for a tech lab? Do we go for our add-ons? And do we set up for an add-on swap? Initially, it should be a Widowmine drop to scout. As Cure, he has not gone into the main. He does not know what he's up against. For all he knows, it could be a Stargate. Cure has to confirm. And here comes that mine drop. But again, it's after the mine drop what I'm most curious by. Let's say shade in. Going to be zoned away. Reaper into the main. Does not get behind the mineral. He's going for it though. Yeah, he's going for the dive. He's going for the scout. And he will confirm the blink. Whew. And again, something like Stargate play was very much so an option here for SKillous, so Cure, he had to confirm. Did have to confirm. Now he knows. Now he is aware. There's that tech lab. Now, because Cure now knows it's going to be a Twilight Council opener, I would imagine he's going to be going for tank production, not for an add-on swap. I mean, regardless, reactors are on the way. On both buildings, tanks now in production as well. And here comes that mine drop. Mine drop towards that natural. It's going to be tank into Raven. Yeah, no Banshees. No early Cyclone. Standard follow-up. So he's respecting the map control that SKillous is about to gain. Oh my god. As the shot almost goes off. Oh. Almost, but not quite. Widowmine goes down. 1 probe kill so far. And SKillous takes a third. He's taking a third base into a forge, into extra gateways. Back at home, Cure, he's setting up his Sim City and building up his tanks. Now, Cure, he doesn't know how aggressive his opponent's being here. This could be 4-gate blink for all Cure knows. We know that it's 2-gate blink into a third base. It's a very economic build here by SKillous, as he delayed his extra gateways after the third base. So very greedy, very economic build here by SKillous. Cure doesn't know, that's why he's setting up defensively here. We've got bunkers being set up Sim City, we're walling off. Cure is securing himself against nothing. Otherwise, Cure, he could afford a faster third CC. Now, SKillous just chilling back at home. Cure building up towards Stim. Observer does confirm. And SKillous has to be very careful, staying away from that Raven. Does stay away. This is also an earlier Bay from SKillous. I do like this. Again, this is very tech heavy, and basically, SKillous is skipping warp-ins. He's skipping warp-ins here in favor of taking up into that Bay, into these gases, into a stronger mid-game. So SKillous is cutting even more corners, not just going for a faster third and going for a 2-gate opener, but into a faster Bay as well, into faster extra gases. Or the 4-gas setup, I should say. But Cure is about to move out. Once the medevacs arrive, once the upgrades finish, Cure can be active. So all this greed and all this tech is nice and all, but we'll see if he can get away with it. See if he can get away. Army moves out. Observer does spot the army. Third CC now on the way here for Cure. As SKillous is getting a fourth. That's catching the Observer. SKillous, he's looking for the CC. As he has yet to confirm. Sees all the production. There we go. Does confirm the third command center. But here comes the move out. SKillous, he needs to get in position. Right now he's spread out between his bases. Distracted by the Ravens. Yeah, there we go. He does spot the army. But he's a little bit too late to respond. Yeah, the Nexus is under fire and we're going to force a cancel. Brutal moment here. Fourth base is denied. SKillous, he's trying to engage, but he's mainly Zealot heavy here. Barely any Stalkers, again intentionally so. He was skipping out on those Stalkers. If you recall, he was skipping those warp-ins. Fourth base now being retaken. And SKillous is going for a massive Zealot counterattack. Ahead of time, he does take control of the Zelnaga. Important. He has his Zelnaga, goes for the run-by, and he should lie in wait. Now he's aware of the third location. He does hide his Zealots. And SKillous, again, he's hoping to catch his opponent off guard. The goal here is to have these Zealots pop off like we saw previously and eviscerate the economy. The problem, though, Cure, he's fighting for the Zelnaga. And he will find these Zealots. Now he's aware. Main army rotates. Second Robo's on the way. Getting into disruptor production. Ooh, brutal supply block though. Yeah, wasted Chrono. And SKillous, because he's behind, he's double expanding. Again, SKillous, as the Terran gets a third base, he needs a fourth. So the fourth base is late. We'll get a fifth at the same time. Opens up the center of the map. He does need that mobility. The center. Kiri's chilling back at home, building up his Ghost Count, his Vikings as well. SKillous, he rotates over. SKillous trying to recover. Both armies are soon to max out. And pushing into this expansion is going to be that much more difficult. Unlike on the previous maps on Gressvan or even on ley lines, you can't really push in between the bases. You can't try to split the army in half. It's not as easy on this map, just because of how difficult it is to rotate to that third or to that natural from the third. Oh. There it goes up. Decent connection. Gets a Marauder, gets a couple of Marines. Not bad. SKillous, he pulls away, throwing down spotter pylons. Pylons are being thrown down. Zealots are spread out. SKillous, he is gaining complete map control. And his goal here is to keep Kira contained. We'll see if he can. As SKillous is getting a 6th expansion. So he's taking more bases. He has the gold up and running. Ready for a Zealot Rumba. He gets spotted by the depot, so Kira, he knows. Speaking of the depot, he gets started down. SKillous moving in. Going for the bunker. The bunker falls as well. Doesn't commit. Never goes up. Oh my god. Nice splits. Very nice splits. And we're bleeding out a lot of stalkers. Oh my god, the splits are not there though. Not anymore. Massive connections. Yeah, good pickups here. At the same time, Zealots, they catch a tank. They catch reinforcements. Kira gets punished. He's being pulled apart. Kira, calm down. He's racing back home. Zealots, they drag him into the natural. SKillous moving in. Tanks are exposed. And SKillous, can he claim those tanks? He's tempted. He wants them and he's going to get them. First tank goes down. There's one tank left. Nerves go up. No major connections. Did lose a Colossus. Buying more time. More Zealot Warpins. SKillous, he gets eyes on the would-be 4th. He knows. Zealot Rumba is premature. Yeah, premature run by Zealots are going to be cleaned up. SKillous, is he getting too excited? Yeah, he cannot quite commit to this. Nova goes up. SKillous, we have to calm down, Pappy, calm down. Just consolidate our forces. You can see SKillous, he did plummet in supply. He bled out a lot of Colossus. Down to 1. SKillous does remax. And he rotates. He rotates with the main army. His goal here is to deny the 4th. Zealot Rumba is ready. Scan reveals no army yet. Okay, he rotates well. It's keeping up with the movement of SKillous. Does keep up. SKillous pulls away. Zealots, they do hit the 3rd. They get the final tank. They catch out the Marines. And these Zealots, they're popping off. Kira, he's distracted. He's shot here at the 4th base. He's going to trade well with the Novas. The splits are not good enough. They're not there. Yeah, no splits. Massive connections. GG gets called. And SKillous, he will tab the series 2-2. Whew, we are going to the ace match. Let's go. Oh my god. GG, well played. Kira, he was torn apart. Kira, he was attempting to expand. As he expanded, as Zealot Rumba comes in once again, time and time again. We saw SKillous just poking, prodding towards the 4th base, towards the 3rd base, picking up some key units. Bunker, tank, depot over time, did overwhelm. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. We're going to game 5. And again, we saw how much more comfortable SKillous was. Remember, SKillous, he, on a larger map, he did open very greedily. He opened up with a 2-gate opener, 2-gate into a 3rd base, into fast gases, into a bay as well. Like, he was skipping warp-ins, and he got away with it. Yes, he was forced to cancel the 4th base, but how did he make up for losing the 4th? He took the gold. The gold base more than made up for that, to be able to recover, to be able to max out, to gain map control, and to contain the Terran. And that leads us here into the ace match. Let's go. Leads us into game 5, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the red Protoss flavor. The red Protoss representing Team Liquid. Tying things up, forcing the ace match, it is SKillous. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player from South Korea representing Team Liquid, being forced into game 5. He's going for the proxy 2-rax. Let's go. It is Cure. We go. We are setting up for that proxy as we have our 2 Raxes on the way. SKillous, importantly, he's going for the probe scout. Very important here. So SKillous, he will confirm that the Rax is missing. He will confirm. He didn't even try to harass much with medevac drops. If you recall, he was contained. I mean, He was playing very safe, overly safe. It was important to bear in mind, which is what we brought up, is that SKillous was being greedy last game. He was cutting corners and he got away with it. Did get away with that greed. Did get away with cutting those corners. It was risky what SKillous had gone for, but got away with it. Likewise, behind this, Proxy Marauder. So going to be Proxy Marauder here from Cure. And SKillous, he is aware that the Raxes are not at home. He also sees the gas as well, and he's looking. He's searching for that proxy. It is common to proxy at the third location, and does he check? As he is getting a safety zealots. Nexus on the way, Probe moves in, he sees the SCV. Up! And he will get eyes on the 2 Raxes. Whew. Okay, SKillous, he knows. Sees both Raxes, sees a double tech lab. He's aware of the Marauders. And we need to prioritize our army here. Shield battery on the way. And the first Marauder has arrived. Now, I believe to defend against this, you have to pull a couple of boys to protect your Stalker. Otherwise, the Stalker is so vulnerable to the Marauders. Stalker moves down. So for now, the Zealot is soaking. So far, holding the line. Second Marauder has arrived. There's a Chrono on the second Stalker. Oh, is almost caught out. Concussive Shell done in 2 seconds. Yeah, not done in time. That could have been a dead Stalker then and there. But 2 seconds too early, or 2 seconds too late. Shield batteries are done, and SKillous, he's holding. He's holding on. Oh my god. Now it's up to 2 Stalkers. Meanwhile, we're not stopping Marauder production. Bear that in mind. 2 shield batteries are good, but we still need more units here. Third Stalker's on the way. Now, what's important is that we do have a couple of workers that we can pull if need be. SKillous playing very carefully. Pulls away. Does pull away. We have 2 more shield batteries in production. That is Nartosis Pylon. Bear that in mind. That is Nartosis Pylon. Oh, the boy! Let's go! The boys have arrived. Oh, good. Does pull the boys. SKillous, he has to pull his own. Yeah, the boys are revealed. SKillous, he pulls back into the main. Yeah, does pull his own. SCVs are going down so far. Better engage here for SKillous. Does catch out the SCVs. And the SCVs are going to fall. The shield batteries are finishing up as well. SKillous, he's holding on. 7 SCVs go down. That's a lot of Marauders, though. Takes down 2 shield batteries. There's still 2 left. Yeah, 2 shield batteries remaining. Still a hefty Marauder army. And the pylon is exposed. Takes down 1 Stalker. Takes down one of the Stalkers, and there's still so many Marauders here. And alas, we're down to 2 Stalkers. More boys are being pulled. They have to be. Up. SKillous, good control, pulls away. Shield battery is overcharged. We have the NG overcharge on the shield battery. Down to how many? 7 Marauders. Down to 6. 6 Marauders left. And remember, SKillous, he can afford to lose some probes. He can afford to lose them. It's fine. Oh no, the pylon! Nartosis Pylon. Keep it alive. Be careful. Gets another Marauder. Down to 5. Now getting up to 6. Another Marauder goes down. And another fighting out of range of the shield battery. Risky move. Does pull back. Does get healed up. As another Stalker goes down. Again, the shield batteries are a little bit too far behind. Yeah, they're too far back. But Warp Gate is done. It's still very close. Still very close, still very clutch. Warping the Zealots, there's no gas. And SKillous running out of gas. Warping the Zealot, whatever he can afford. Another Stalker on the way. Still very tense. Up! Another Stalker gets caught out, is gonna fall. Yeah, and Curious, he's controlling well here. Maintaining his army. Boys being pulled once again. SKillous, he gets at least 1. He gets 2. Oh, gets 3. Oh my god. Takes down 3 Marauders. Is it enough? Gets a 4th. Oh my god. Gets a 5th. Has become not to overextend. Has to pull away. Good fight there for SKillous. Very nice fight. And Q, remember, he's running out of steam. He only has 8 SCVs. Sorry, 11. That's another Marauder. Another 2. Another 3 even. Still trading though, still losing Stalkers. Skillous needs to be so careful here as he gets another Marauder. Yeah, he has momentum. Let's go. He has momentum here and now. Skillous. Can he do it? 3v3. Oh my god. As he's overextending a bit. Does pull 2 boys. There we go. Yeah, pulls 2 more boys on top of the final Marauder. Oh my god. Is about to be overwhelmed by the reinforcements, so he has to be careful. Oh. But likewise, his own Stalkers have arrived. I do feel like Skillous shouldn't be here, but gets another Marauder. And another. And he's came to the production. Oh my god. And again, an intense series went all the way to the A-stars. No more boys are here. Let's go. Again, we hit a tank. We hit a soak. The boys have arrived. Stalk has to pull away. It's still just a handful of units, but it's still enough for Skillous. Hi. All the way to the ace. You could argue that we shouldn't even be here. Again, like, I'm still thinking about the Grespon game, where Skillous didn't have to fight, he didn't have to commit. This could have been a cleaner series out of Skillous, but regardless. Cure, he's down to barely any mining here. I mean, he's trying to transition. We have a Rax on the way back at home. There's the lift. But Skillous is on 34 workers. He's on a booming 2-base economy. And now he pushes. And back at home, there's nothing. There's nothing to defend. Production's still on the way. Send it, papi. Send it. Let's go. Nikita. As Rax is just now finishing up. Marina's on the way. And can Skillous break this bunker? Yeah, GG gets called. The writing is on the wall. And Skillous, he will claim the series at 3-2. Advancing on to the next round. And knocking Cure out of the tournament. GG. Whew. GG, well played. The reverse sweep, mate. Cure, he was up 2-0. He was up 2-0, and 3 games in a row. Skillous, he brought it back. He just needed, to get that pressure on him sometimes. It's sometimes you need that pressure to really turn it on. And congratulations here to Skillous. Again, he did take some risks earlier in the series, of course. When it came to playing Stargate on King's Cove, or when it came to committing on Grespon. But regardless, GG, well played. Skillous, he brought it back in the end, and he will claim the series. GG, well played. Congratulations here. A very, very hard-fought series between these two players. Could have gone either way, to be honest. Could have gone either way. There were strong moments for both players. Alas, Skillous does claim it, and does knock his teammate out of the OSC Season 12 Championship. Congratulations. Crazy match, mate. Oh my god. And with that does wrap up our lower bracket round 5. Switching our scenes over here. We had our 2 series. We had a Solar taking down Cristiano 3-1, and we had Skillous taking down Cure 3-2 as well. Some intense matches, intense series. Cristiano and Cure are now knocked out of the tournament. They're knocked out of OSC Season 12. And now we are hopping over to the upper brackets. We're hopping over here. This was lower bracket round 5. We're hopping over towards the upper bracket instead. Bam! Here we go. We have our top 4. We have our top players here. I mean, I say top 4. Technically, Dark and Bjorn are waiting in the next round. But we have Hero, Max, Clem, and Geralt. They have been lying in wait and ready in the upper bracket. Here we go. These players have yet to drop a series. They have yet to lose to any of their opponents. And we'll see who advances on into that next round. Let's go. We're here for it. We're here for it. We're ready for it. As we are halfway through the broadcast, we're going to be going in a short break. When we come back, we'll have 2 best of 5s. Hero versus Max, and Clem versus Geralt. We'll see you guys after the break. See you soon. Pat. See you soon.